an 8-person mountain brownie. How do you like that? Little sign language for you. Fun fact, I actually took 4 years of sign language in college. All I said, if you were not aware, is you beautiful, which you really truly are. You have this lovely glow going about you. I can tell you've been going out and getting a bit of that summer sun. I'm gonna live vicariously through you because I work on my dungeon tan. The original plan was to go and get settled at the hotel, but after a wrong turn or two and a brief moment in the bus lane, we ended up going over the Bay Bridge and decided instead of having to pay that toll twice, our Pier 39 adventure would start a little bit early. I had seen so many cool photos online about Boudin sourdough. Boudin? Not entirely sure I'm saying that correctly, but look at that. They make lobster sourdough loaves, turtle sourdough loaves. I wanted to go and pick one up myself, but after seeing that the alligator I wanted was $36, I decided to pass. Dessert before dinner, you definitely do not have to ask me twice. Trish's chocolate shop had all of the things. I could have spent my entire budget in this place and then some. I ended up grabbing a dark chocolate peanut butter cup. Those truffles right there that were just on screen, those were over $5 each, which blew my mind. Caramel covered apples, $10. A lot of it was pretty expensive. Oh, chocolate covered bacon. I really should have gotten one of those. Like this video if you want to see me try and make my own chocolate covered bacon. Sorry about that, back on track. So the dark chocolate peanut butter cup was $3.95. And we also got a caramel peanut turtle, which was absolutely divine. But that sucker was $7.50. Not gonna lie, I'd pay it again. They're like, excuse me. They're arguing over space. Off, off, off. Sea lions are fun and all, but let's start ringing that dinner bell. I was ready to have some fish and chips. Chowders was a pretty neat little place with a very diner feel. I was more in the mood to have a sit-down meal, but I had budgeted for this location, so we weren't going to change it the last minute. Not to complain even more, but then also paying $15.99 for 3... They weren't small pieces of fish, but they weren't thick either, considering that the fish and chips that we get back home, I order a 2-piece and it comes with a 3rd piece of fish and chip, and I almost can't finish it, and that's saying quite a bit for me. Yes, it is time for dessert, and no, earlier did not count. This place was also awesome and had tons of variety. Not as many chocolate items, which bummed me out a little bit. I ended up grabbing a churro. And then I think we ended up getting one of those big old jawbreakers, but that was not out of my budget, so I'm not going to count it. On our way back to the parking structure, I thought this was kind of neat that you could just use your phone to basically log in and pay for your parking. We were there for 3 hours. It was $10 an hour, so it came up to $30 and some change with tax. This is the sketchness. We get to camp by, hotel by, all of it. Look at that. That's a winner. Got all checked into the hotel room and I was ready to turn and burn for some more adventures. There was a bottle shop I wanted to go and check out, and by the time we found parking, we discovered that there was this thing going on called the First Fridays in Oakland, and it was such a blast. Haha, here we are, the Good Hop. I was reading online that they have over 600 different bottles of beer in this place, and then they have another variety on tap. After looking for what felt like literally forever, I was bouncing back and forth between the stouts and the sours. I settled on this amazing coffee stout. So yummy. Walking around and checking out the many vendors at the First Friday got us hungry yet again, so we decided to check out a place called Nations. This was my first time here. The breakfast burrito was absolutely delicious and stayed hot forever. I also got this really cool strawberry dessert that was super duper yummy. I know, lots of sweets in my life. If you're watching this video, we survived the night, even with all of the sketchiness happening out front of the hotel. In their defense, they do close and lock the gate at night and have a guardsman, I guess we could say. So that helps a bit. And we did sleep really well. It was quiet. There wasn't a lot of loud noise. The room was clean, smelled fine. So those were all definite pluses. Breakfast was thebomb.com. The mini egg and cheese omelets were good. The sausage patties were good. I really enjoyed making the waffles. Those were yummy. I would say the only potential drawback is they only have 2 waffle machines, and it was a lot more busy in the mornings there than I thought it would be. Confirmation, parking is $10 as advertised. Golden Gate Fields was a lot larger than I anticipated. They had 3 different levels. All 3 levels, you had options to watch races inside or outside. You had bars on each level. You also had the options of food everywhere. One thing I did find interesting is the hot dogs were different prices on each level. Look at how... Yeah, where you can really watch your step. Watch your step. Oh my gosh. Holy cow, you could really see the ponies here. You guys, so glad that words. I am super stoked. I got here a bit early because now we really have the run of the place to pick our own seating. Although this area we're at, you see there's like these mini box seats. Not sure if they're rented out yet, so we're gonna poke around and ask and see if we can figure that out. But we're right by the finish line, ideally, right by the stables. Hopefully we're gonna get some good shots, make a little bit of money, have a little bit of fun, check out the ponies. Weather right now is super nice, not super windy, not super cold. There are areas that are super cold though. I wanna say it's supposed to be a high of like 66 today, so let's enjoy it, because back home it's 105. It's rude at home. If you are ever in the area and you're a mac and cheese fan, you need to find this restaurant. It is called Homeroom, and they specialize in various mac and cheese delicacies. And there's 4 of us here, and we may or may not have ordered an 8-person mountain brownie. An 8-person mountain brownie. This sucker is $19.99. I can't wait for them to bring it out. It says to order 15 minutes ahead of time. So we're gonna see how all this goes down. Wish us luck. 8 brownies and 8 scoops of ice cream later. Give this video a like if you think you'd be able to get through this sucker. The 4 of us completely obliterated that brownie sundae. It was delicious. I kind of wish I could say it was more challenging than it was. But yeah, nope, we killed it. We absolutely killed it, and I would do it again. I think next time we come and visit, we'll bump up, because I believe there was an 8-person, a 10 or a 12-person, and maybe one more above that might bump it up. But between the 4 of us, we killed it. It wasn't a problem. I'm not even that full. But give my brain a minute. I might be in a few minutes. Breakfast in our bellies and all packed up. I was ready to go grab some coffee from Home Coffee Roasters. This guy. This is what I was dying to get. The birthday vanilla latte. I had seen so many photos online of that rainbow latte art, and I had to go and pick one up. The prices were comparable to going to Starbucks or probably really any coffee chain. And it was located near Chinatown, so we definitely planned to walk around afterwards and check some things out before heading home. A majority of the shops we went by were definitely very touristy, selling t-shirts and keychains, but then there were a bunch of these shops that had a bunch of glass sculptures, glass items, very breakable things. Not a fan. I didn't want to go in those at all. The last thing I need to do is bump some $3,000 ticket item. Your eyes do not deceive you. I went and I did a thing. It has definitely changed a lot since the movie was filmed, but I really loved getting to go and see Mrs.Doubtfire's house. Bonus stop. Well, not really. I had planned to come by here, but I was ready to skip over it if we didn't quite have enough time to finagle it into the 3 days that we were visiting. This is one of the many Mosaic stairways that you can find in San Francisco, and it had this massive succulent garden leading up to it on either side of the stairway. There's no way I couldn't film this. It was crazy, and it was beautiful. Everything there's absolutely thriving. If you get the opportunity to check these stairs out, make sure you go all the way to the top because the views are phenomenal. Raise of hands. Who thought I was going to go over? Under? Over? I really thought I was going to go over because Golden Gate Field ate a huge chunk out of my budget that I was not expecting because I could find very little information online to plan ahead for that. Made it work. If you enjoy this type of content as far as setting like a travel budget challenge, let me know down in the comments. Give me a challenge to try out. I love sharing this time with you guys, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye.